I think the weekend that the Prom Musical came out on Netflix is when I saw it with my mother together. It probably would have taken me another couple of days, but she was like, "I just want to see it." I was surprised, and so I was like, "Yeah, I'll watch it with you." And I did not expect it to be like that. I mean, words cannot explain, although I will try to say words, but I have a lot of different feelings and thoughts and emotions about it, and some of the stuff really boils down deep inside. You just want to like scream it out. So yeah, I just thought I'd make a YouTube video just to let out all my emotions and feelings and thoughts and just see if anyone else, has any of their thoughts they want to share or disagrees. I'm very curious to it. So yeah, without further ado, let's start. So before I actually saw the movie, I knew I was not gonna try and watch the musical because I'd never heard of it, I'd never watched it, and so I just really wanted to go into the movie with like a clean slate, no previous like expectations or something to compare it to. So I didn't listen to the music, I didn't watch the musical, I just wanted to watch the whole movie and just see what I thought before then watching the musical. But I saw the movie in three parts, and after the first part, I went onto Tumblr and saw some posts about people talking about how You Happened had been shortened from the original, and they linked a Broadway performance from the musical of the full version, like what they had performed, and I watched that, and I really liked it. I definitely preferred it. I was like, why would you shorten it down? It was so nice and so fun, and I think that's when I really started listening to the whole Broadway cast album on Spotify, and that sort of did then take away some of the glitz and glamour of the movie because I then would compare it to the audio and the singing and the voices from the Broadway. And I also saw some clips here and there from some of the performances. Some of the scenes or songs in the movie just did not live up to those performances in the musical, so that definitely did impact my opinion of the movie. But generally, I have to say it was a nice movie, nice musical adaptation. I've definitely recommended it to people. I would recommend it even now, just to watch it as, a nice, entertaining movie, something you can watch laid back, just chilling on a Saturday afternoon or something, because it's just something fun, entertaining, nothing too hard and heavy emotionally wise or something like that. So, yeah, let's get into the characters and actors. So concerning Alyssa and Emma, I have to say they were quite enjoyable, very nice, cute, nice singing. So really, nothing really bad to say about them. I mean, they didn't really stand out, I have to say, in the movie. They were just there. They were the main characters, but they don't really stand out in your mind when you think about the musical and the movie. Like if I think about the movie, there's other characters that come to my mind because of the performances or just how the character was in the movie. So I don't know if that's intended or if that was supposed to be like that, but they felt more secondary. I don't know what that means. I have to say, Kerry Washington and Keegan Michael Key, they were great. Like, I don't know if I'd heard Keegan sing before because I watched his sketches from back in the day. I was a big fan of them, so they were a happy surprise. I really liked them. She was really nice. I mean, they're both great actors, so honestly, that was a given. But their singing really surprised me, and I found it very enjoyable. I really liked them. Yeah, they were a good addition. Nicole Kidman, I mean, I guess it's because the character doesn't really do much. She only has one song where she really participates in the movie at least. I think in the Broadway musical, there's other moments where each of the characters always has like their own little moment in each song. So like if they'd gone through with the whole acceptance song, then she would have had more of a moment, but they cut that down. So she just felt like like a background character who just like shows up for this one song and talks about Zaz. Um, Her singing, not my favorite. Yeah, but I think that's just personal opinion. Like she can sing, but it's just not my favorite voice. I prefer other voices to that one. So yeah, but nothing bad to say. Meryl Streep was kind of a big surprise. I mean, she's a great actress, so I really liked how she brought the character to the movie. She really did like live out the whole narcissistic Broadway star who's almost too old to still do Broadway and no one really likes, but she's still full of herself, so that was really nice. She definitely lived that role. She brought it to life, and that was good of her. Obviously, her singing is not the same level of the Broadway actress who played um, Dee Dee Allen. So, but hey, Meryl was good enough. I mean, she did her best. She tried her best. She went for everything she could go for. Like she has her vocal limits and she knew them, and she still went, 100% every note. So the songs were great to listen to. I mean, if I had the choice between listening to like the movie or the Broadway show, I mean, definitely I'm gonna go for the Broadway because she'll really belt out those notes. She can bring the drama to the singing, and it's less talk singing, so there's more oomph and power in the notes. But Meryl brought a good show for it, and I really liked her character. It was always fun to watch her and like her drama and her narcissism just like coming out in the funniest ways. So yeah, I mean, like Not About Me. That was a great moment in the movie. Definitely like just blew me away. Um, and then The Lady Improving, great song. Definitely two of my favorite songs. So yeah, I think really good job. Although I would have preferred Broadway maybe because the songs are really nice. And yes, she tried her best, but like hers did sound good, but Broadway just sounds slightly better. So I think that's just the I don't know, the theater nerd or like the singer in me that really likes some nice vocals. But she did good. Andrew as Trent, just perfect. I wish we would have seen more because he was really good and his singing is great. I mean, Love Thy Neighbor, mm, beautiful. I mean, the dancing, the enthusiasm, the singing, just great. It's so sad that they cut down the acceptance song because the song itself, it's it's like very cringy, but it's great. Like once you listen to it a couple of times, the cringe just goes away, and you just can take fun in listening to them sing about the weirdest things, trying to bring about acceptance down in Indiana. Um, and I don't know if they didn't do it because of the time, although they could have cut out some of the acting stuff, like with burying his mom, or if they did it because of vocal stuff. But I don't think it's that difficult because they don't do much. And I really would have liked to seen, Barry do his the accept me part. It is like just the drama of it all, and then like the whole flag thing. I don't know why they cut it. Trent was honestly definitely one of the highlights, along with Dee Dee. So good job on that. Now let's go on to the troublemaker. Lots of thoughts on Barry. I mean, I've never been a big fan of James Corden. Did this movie make me a fan of his? No. Did it do it the opposite? Maybe. Yeah. I mean, why hire a straight guy for a gay character? Why? You even hired a gay character for another role. So why couldn't you have just done that? I mean, you literally got Emma's role, right? You then hired Andrew for Trent. Why couldn't you have just found a gay actor for Barry, the literal gay character? He's important. That's part of who he is. That's what makes the musical so great. By hiring a straight guy to play a gay character in the musical movie, it just totally ruins the character. It takes it away from being Barry to being a portrayal of Barry. It's just a performance of a gay character. It just takes away the whole emotion and connection you can have to him. It takes away his realism, his whole being, because now instead of us, seeing Barry go through his whole, development and his changing, um, from being, a total narcissist like Didi in the beginning to, just slowly being reminded of his roots and that he once was this little boy who also wanted to go to prom and just couldn't find the acceptance that now Emma can find. But in the movie, it's just like, yeah, we have this guy prancing around as a gay character, but it's just a performance. Like, it's not genuine. It's just lacking something, and I cannot connect with it. And also, the singing is not that great. I mean, there's better people out there. Honestly, Broadway and theater and other acting like TV or movie, like there's enough gay actors who can sing and dance and act that could have taken that role that you could have found. Like, why did you not do it? What held you back from it? Obviously, I can't talk about this topic too much because I'm not a gay man, so I don't know how they felt about it. I'm just talking about how it felt for me to watch it, and what my thoughts and opinions were. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I just why? And then like the whole thing also with the musical itself is that you have the whole Indiana people. You have Emma and the guy from the school, and you have the teenagers and everybody versus the people from Broadway. And so the Indiana people are more like downers. They're either angry at Emma or they're angry at the other people, and everyone's depressed or upset and not in a good mood, versus the Broadway people who are narcissists and super full of themselves and just give 100% of everything and just have to do everything overtly over the top. And these are two different, levels of performance that really even out in the musical because you have, you know, Emma, who is this quiet person who's unhappy and a bit grumpy and upset at everyone, versus Barry and Dee Dee, who like just really will, instead of entering a room, they will dance and twirl and jump and bow and sing a hello, and then like wait for everyone in the room to applaud them, and then they will, go around along with their merry life. Like they will do everything over the top. It's supposed to be like that to balance out the characters. Like it because by having like these two different levels, you will have the audience laugh at Dee Dee and Barry and Trent, because they just bring this over the top level to the performances that make you laugh a bit because in comparison to Emma and Alyssa and her mom, it's just such a higher level of enthusiasm and just over the top performances that you have to laugh because it's just too much. It's just so stupid and it just makes them seem even more narcissistic. And so, yes, Didi did do that in the movie with the Not About Me. She, danced around and everything, but then with Barry, it just lacks. He just twirls around a bit. And that's it. It's just that characterness, enthusiasm, just the whole, it being him. It just is missing. And so that part of the musical in the movie is missing. And you just, there's some sort of like, some of the feeling, some of the heart of the musical is missing in the movie because you don't have that element. And so in the musical, he's played by a gay actor, and he talked about how he's playing a turned up version of himself. So, he's not performing, he's not acting on something he watched or remembered or has noticed. He's actually playing himself just, times 10. So he's making either fun of himself or he's just, letting loose and just being himself. Whereas Corden is literally playing a portrayal of that. So he's portraying a portrayal of someone. It, it's just lacking life. I felt like, I don't know, it felt wrong to me. There's just some authenticity missing in Barry, or I don't know how to explain. Something's missing. So now let's on to some general thoughts. So first of all, why did we have to have that story with his mom and his parents? I don't know, remember how exactly they went into it in the musical, but having Dee Dee call his mom and then his mom showing up and then he talks like, I don't need you, I'm still upset at you, and then they hug, and then she shows up to the dance and everything seems fine. It felt rushed, unnecessary, uncomfortable, and also wrong for Dee Dee to call him and then everything just glossed over like that. You could have cut that out and just kept the full songs of acceptance song, and you happened. Movies and musicals are slightly different, like medias, because in musicals you have everything in one view because you have the whole dances and everything is on one stage. And movies, you move with the camera and angles and all the stuff. When you see The Last Dance at the prom or something, or even other songs I can't remember right now, but the camera moves so much that you can barely even see the dance. Like, I would not know how the dance goes by watching the movie. I'd have to watch them like rehearse it or something to be able to see. Yeah, Emma's wardrobe, what was that with that? Like those clothes, who would ever wear that? Like the colors didn't match, or those like weird ass clothes. I don't know, like what was the intention behind that? Just because she's like gay doesn't mean that she can't dress. Um, that just be like everyone else in Indiana was able to dress normally. Why not her? It just made her stand out in a weird way. Because in the musical, she just doesn't dress like that either. So I don't know what that choice was. Also, like I cut the two songs. I don't know if there's more songs, but those definitely were cut like shorter. Why did you have to shorten them? The full versions are beautiful. Like you could have shortened none of the songs because all the songs are great. Don't shorten any songs. So I'm very much confused. So originally, when after I finished watching the movie and I was just like taking some notes, writing stuff, so initially I thought that, why didn't the director, I think Ryan, why did he not just switch Andrew and Gordon James? They could have just switched roles and it would have fit better. But upon reflection, like lately, I just think Andrew was so great as Trent. I wouldn't have wanted to see him as Barry because he just was so great as Trent. Honestly, love that neighbor. It was great. Saying it again. So yeah, just like they should have recast James Corden. Like I'm curious Who were the other choices as contenders for Barry? Anyone? If you know, please let me know. I'm very curious because if there were no other contenders like publicly named, was this always intended to be for James Corden? Because that is a strong no from me. Like, I don't know who decided that he should be in every musical adaptation. Don't do that. Especially not if it's not a character fit for him. I don't know who decided about James Corden being in every musical movie. Don't do that. Change it. Diversify it in all regards of, ethnicity and sexuality and everything and gender. So just kick him out of there and, spice up the whole musical casts in movies and general musicals. There's enough actors out there. Don't stick to the same people. Like even Meryl Streep, you could have taken someone else. Someone, with more experience on Broadway and, musical singing. Then whole with, Barry and it being James Corden and the lack of just the whole missing part from musical to movie, the two characters being totally different in both. It just meant that I totally did not connect with Barry and his whole journey at all. That's the word, journey. Yeah, so like his whole journey, I did not really care, and then like his whole Barry going to prom just was too much. Like the whole sequence, I did not really care. Like I cared way more. I cried literally with Alyssa and her mom in the beginning, like the two scenes where one her mom is like, "No, I can't do this," and she walks away, and then the second time when she comes to the prom and she was like, "I'll try for you," or whatever she said, I can't remember. At least to highlight Kerry Washington, so that's nice. And Alyssa, so the actress, Adriana. So yeah, that was nice. So yeah, I guess I really hunkered down on the Barry debacle there. So yeah, now on to my favorite songs. I'm gonna keep it down to three, just to be very mean to myself. Um, my choices have like no real basis except for that they are usually like upbeat songs that I can listen to for many, many months. Because if I choose like songs like Alyssa Green or some of Emma's songs, they're like a bit depressing or something, so I won't always be in the mood to listen to them. So yeah, in no specific order, like none whatsoever. My favorite three songs are Love Thy Neighbor, You Happened, and Not About Me. Although Lady Improving is the strong contender at the moment, I've recently started listening to it quite a bit, so who knows? Yeah, and so now let's on to my final remarks. I don't know why I sang that one. I think one thing that really disturbed me all around was just the movie seemed so happy and joyful and peaceful. Like it was so much positivity throughout the entire movie. Like you had Emma smiling the entire time, which was like disconcerting because, girl, your life is really not great right now. No normal teenager would be happy right now. Like your whole social life is a disaster. The principal is the only one who's being your friend. Your girlfriend is in a secret relationship with you and could be dumping you any day. Her mother hates you. The whole PTA board hates you. The whole country didn't give a damn until these Broadway narcissists came over, and they're clearly not trying to help you here, just themselves. But yeah, sure, keep on smiling and wearing your weird clothes. Um, and then like the whole movie, like it seemed like the only colors we kept seeing were like orange, yellow, and pink, just like really bright colors. The colors made it seem like everything was happy the entire time. Maybe it's not fully the colors, but mainly that the whole, clash of the two groups was missing for me, and the whole balancing out act was missing for me, and therefore the performances were a bit lacking in the movie for me. I think I really want to watch the whole musical now because just watching the over the top performances of the Broadway characters in the musical is just so much fun because it's so much over the top that you're having just so much fun watching them do it because the actors themselves are having so much fun and the audience is laughing and then you have, Emma on the side just being a bit depressed but slowly starting to smile the more she sees them being like their eccentric selves. And that makes you smile and you happy and that is really missing in the movie. And so yeah, I think in total my whole beef with the movie is that it was the wrong movie to make because the musical, in my opinion, worked really well as a musical. So instead of having made it into a movie, they should have recorded it like Hamilton was recorded for Disney. Just record the musical and it would have been fine. It would have been perfect. You could have even kept the original cast. It would have been perfect. Why make it into a movie? It ruins the whole musical, in my opinion, because you're losing the whole interaction with the audience. You don't anymore have people laughing at Dee Dee and Barry's performances of being over the top. You don't anymore react to, Emma's reaction to their over the top performances. You don't laugh anymore at the reaction of the principal, that's the word, to his reaction to the over the top performances, or the mom's reaction, or the other students' reaction. And you need that interaction to know, to just have that feeling. Like, without that, it's just like it falls flat. You'll like see, and Not About Me, you see the principal react, and you're like, oh, that's nice, but it's just missing something, because the stage is supposed to be full of people, but then the camera keeps moving around in the movie, and you never really focus on one person. But on the musical, like, you see the stage and you see the Broadway people right in front of them, and the students, a couple of them to the sides, and the mom and the principal, and your face is full of these Broadway eccentrics, narcissistic people just taking up the stage with their signs and their whole dancing and like going into the face of the people, and you have fun. It's a fun moment. And in the musical, it's just so dramatic, and it's just all about Dee Dee, and the camera just follows her and the red, and it zooms in and out and goes to some reactions from people, but it's just missing that element of the musical, that I don't know, that thing that I'm missing, that I've been trying to explain the entire video. It's just missing something where the musical was very interactive, and you fed off of their performances and their reactions to each other's performances, and they fed off your reactions to their performances in the musical itself. And then the movie is just very flat, very 2D between a screen, and you're just watching the screen. It just doesn't work well. Hamilton, you also react, like with the King, when he does his first song, and then like he sings about like the movie being blue, or him being blue, and then like the light turns blue, and then like everyone laughs at him and he waits for the laugh. That's good. Or like well, yeah, with the King generally in Hamilton, like his scenes really fed off of the audience. And that's how it was for the whole musical of The Prom, with the Broadway characters especially, and that just fully missed. Like, I missed that in the movie, and that just really ruined the movie for me after having seen the musical, or parts of it at least. So on its own, the movie is fine. So while the movie is nice, I would consider it a hit and miss. It's not the worst movie of this year, 100% not. While the movie was nice, and it was a nice adaptation, and the singing was good from the majority of the cast, and the acting was nice too, and the actors did give their best, it was just the wrong thing to do, the wrong version of how to bring the musical to the movie medium. And also the casting just did not go well. Like, sure, Carrie and Keegan, they did a great job, and they were great in the roles, and I wasn't really bothered by it, like, because their roles don't really do much singing. I think Keegan's does more than hers, but he did great as the singing, and We Look to You, so that was fine. It's more like the major roles like Barry and Dee Dee where they kind of missed. So yeah, I think that's my stance on the movie. Like and subscribe, whatever, all that stuff you can do if you want. I just really wanted to talk about. I can't even remember what I was gonna say. Um. Oh yeah. So the next videos I'll bring up will probably be another game video. I don't know yet what game. I might be trying out some Steam games, so we'll see about that. I might do another movie review, but this time not a musical one, just maybe just a normal movie review. I recently saw some movies, some new ones I'm gonna see, so I don't know yet if I should take something from in the beginning of the year or something older, or I could do Wonder Woman that just came out. I don't know if I should do a reaction video or a movie review video, so we'll see about that. If you have any suggestions, just let me down below. Let me know. I can also just do another musical review. I do not care. These are fun. Took longer than I expected. Yeah, until next time.